So, as you may know, I wrote a book called The Authenticity Principle, which is all about how you can live, work, and lead more in an authentic way. And in the book, I spotlight a framework which I call the three selves model, which is all about how it is that you can live more authentically despite constantly feeling pressure to conform and change who you are. I talk a lot about the three selves, including your authentic self, your performing self, and your adapted self online in other videos on my website. You can check that out. But today I want to talk to you about a really important concept, which I call the 7 behavioral dimensions, which is connected to the three selves model. Basically, your 7 behavioral dimensions are 7 buckets of behavior in which we all make decisions, both consciously and unconsciously, about how to behave all day long. And the reason why the 7 behavioral dimensions are so important is because when we as individuals have a more sophisticated, in depth, nuanced knowledge of how it is that we like to behave across these 7 behavioral dimensions, not only are we in a place where we have better emotional intelligence, EQ, but it helps us to better understand how to live more authentically. So today I just want to quickly run through what are the 7 behavioral dimensions. The first is how we express our emotions, which means literally how do you show your enthusiasm, your sadness, your happiness, anger, and more. The second is how do you communicate non-verbally, which means how do you use hand gestures? What do you do with your face? What do you do with your eyes? The third is the words we use when we speak. And so think about what are the words that you use when you're talking, having a conversation? How do you speak at work versus how do you speak in your personal life? Keeping your eye on that. The next one is how do we actually speak? And this is about the volume, the tone, the inflection in your voice, all of which is so important as it relates to living more authentically. The next one is your appearance. So this is if there were no negative consequences, how would you dress? How would you appear? How would you show up? What would you do with your hair, your clothing, tattoos, body jewelry, and more? The next is the content we share, which is what do you talk about? Which opinions do you share? Do you dissent? And more. And then the final one is our actions. This is all else. Like, how do you like to behave? Who do you love? Who do you say no to? Where do you draw your boundaries? And more. I wanted to highlight the 7 behavioral dimensions for you in this video. I encourage you to go onto my website and check out more details. You can read my book as well to learn more about the 7 behavioral dimensions. But just know this, that when you have a better understanding of how you like to behave in these dimensions, it will literally transform your life. Thanks for watching.